Well, it is a pretty perfect November day on the farm, and we have decided that we're going to plant our chestnut trees today along our driveway. So I'm pretty excited about that. We've got our excavator out here and our side-by-side, and we're just gathering up a pile of compost, and we're gonna dig some holes and get these little baby trees planted. So we're gonna take you along with us. Welcome to Stonehaven Farms, everybody. Here we go. We've had this pile of compost sitting out here in the yard for a couple of years now, and we just kind of use it as we need it. It initially came in a big truckload from a place in Missouri, and we add things to it over time, like our chicken manure and sometimes food scraps and things like that, leaves, etc. But it just kind of sits here in our yard, and we utilize it as necessary for our garden beds or for anywhere else that we need to use compost. So today we're going to take a couple bucketfuls with our excavator, and we're going to put it in the holes that we're digging to plant our chestnut trees. Okay, first tree's going in. Ellie's so cute. Are you just watching real patient? She's got some good roots.
Instead of wrapping around each other, because then they'll choke each other and kill it.
Hi, baby. Do we need the directions?
Heck no.
I don't think there's any directions in here. Oh yeah, there is.
Step one.
Use a stake of the same length as the uninstalled tree tube. Drive the inside edge of the stake approximately 2 inches away from the tree. Ensure that the vents of the tube are positioned at the top. Before securing the split style tube onto the stake, tighten the top zip tie fully. It's not necessary for the top zip tie to go around the stake. Then tighten the second zip tie partway to still be able to go over the stake, like picture number 2. You're being very patient. He'll snap at her shortly.
So this goes down? This is the downside?
So
Top
no,
side?
top side. The vents are on the top side. Yeah. So zip tie, the top zip tie should be on fully first. Okay, and then it says the second zip tie should be on just partially, and then it's going to slip around. So this needs to go like so.
It goes on the outside though, right?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Zip tie.
Zip tie you? These chestnut trees that we're planting today are American chestnuts. They're chestnuts that we bought last year, and we got them on eBay. So over last winter, they sat in a bucket full of sand. And then in the springtime, they were planted into these plastic tubes that you see us pulling the trees out of. And then they were just sitting out in the garden all summer long where I kept them watered. And now that it is November, we are planting them into the ground as little baby tree saplings.
Yeah, I want it right here.
So we're trying to plant these chestnuts about every 45 feet or so. We also got some new chestnuts recently, and I bought them from a local guy, so I'm hoping that because, you know, these new seeds are local seeds, that they'll actually be more Arkansas hardy because they're from the actual area. And the new seeds that we got are a hybrid, so it's an American, Chinese hybrid chestnut tree. And so I'm really excited to see how those turn out. I have 3 pounds of them, and they're currently sitting in the refrigerator. They have to do what's called cold stratification. As it starts to get colder outside, we again will put them in a bucket full of sand for the winter time, and then in the spring we will plant them in these plastic tubes and put them outside and keep them watered all summer. These tree tubes that you see us using to plant our chestnut trees in, we ordered these on Amazon, and if you're curious, these tree tubes, they're 60 inches tall. They came with the stakes, they came with zip ties, as well as the bird netting that goes over the top. So it was kind of a nice package deal. They're not cheap. For 25 of them, it was $172.75. These particular ones are, I may be saying or pronouncing this wrong, but Furrion Naturals. And I'll link it below in our YouTube video so that you can go and look at them if you're interested. In all fairness, we have no idea what we're doing here, but from what we've read, you should dig the hole wider rather than deeper and kind of spread out the roots so that the roots go out instead of down for a healthier, stronger, longer lasting tree. Again, no idea what we're doing, but this is just from what we've read, so we'll see if it works or not. All right, we did it. We got the rest of our chestnut trees planted today. I'm going to show you. This area along Stonehaven Drive is what we fondly call our Christmas tree pasture because we have cut trees out of it in the past and used them as our Christmas trees. And then this is just the driveway leading up to the house. And so this is where you saw us planting trees. The Christmas tree pasture planting I did not film. So we're going to plant some chestnuts.
In order to plant chestnut seeds, we have to keep them cold over the winter for cold stratification.
So we bought a bunch of chestnuts. They've been sitting in the refrigerator for a couple of months, and now we're going to essentially put them in a bucket with some sand and bury it for the winter so that it stays in that cold stratification. And then in the spring, we will plant the chestnuts in another medium so that they grow into trees.
We have a bucket that has some holes in it, and the holes are rather large, and we're gonna put this screen in here to prevent the sand to fall out these bigger holes.
We also don't want critters to be able to get in there. I've read that if you're burying this bucket that mice will try and get in and mess with your seeds, so.
All right, I think we need to just get some sand and kind of like pack it in around the sides to hold this wire back.
Okay. Of course, I don't have my knife with me. You bust open the bag of sand.
push it down. Push the screen down so the things go into the screen.
Yeah, it's not, is it? The screen is... I mean, I think that it's just going to go out the holes. Maybe if we get it wet, it will. I guess in my mind, when I was going to put holes in the bucket, the holes were going to be much smaller.
Yeah, well,
If we put it around the outside.
I was thinking more like we'll just wrap it.
There's only holes around the bottom. So we're doing a layer of sand, layer of chestnuts, layer of sand, and the sand is supposed to be wet. That's why we have our little bucket of water. If you're wondering why it is that we chose chestnut trees, there's a few different reasons. Number one, we just think they're really beautiful. Number two, they are not toxic to livestock the way that oak trees are. We have a lot of oak trees on our property, and at this time of year, we have to be very careful where we graze our livestock because those oak trees have dropped a ton of acorns this year, and the cows love the acorns. And if they eat too many acorns, it can poison them and kill them. So we don't have that issue with chestnut trees. Chestnut trees also attract deer. We have a lot of deer on our property as well, and we love them and we want to encourage that. So we like to plant things that will encourage other wildlife habitat. And then lastly, I guess I would just say that it is our goal, one of our goals on our property, to improve the ground, to improve the land. And one of the ways that we want to do that is by creating a silvopasture, which is basically pasture that involves trees. And additionally, those trees, once they grow up to be very large, provide shelter for your livestock, shelter from sun, wind, rain, really all of the elements. So multi-purpose. But that's all we've got for you guys for now. So thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.